know if we had already done that. Okay,
Well,
there we
your
go.
recorder didn't stop, of course, right? Like I don't even think I can, and I wouldn't anyway. But so your Megan
Oh,
Stop
cool.
taker is not got a break in it. If you want to break that, and now you're recording again. So or
I'll lose
not,
it.
I don't know.
Okay,
You'll have to decide with that. So
I got it. Yeah, I'll lose it if I do that. I'm
okay,
horrible with it.
yeah.
All
So
right.
and if you need me to cut it in half for you, I can. Okay, and I'll
Okay.
cut it in half because I'll need to if you guys go very long for Amber when it gets to that moment.
Okay.
Okay, have fun, guys. Let me know if you need me.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Of course. Bye.
I'm trying to find two things, guys. Give me 1 second. Does anybody have any questions about anything that we just talked about or anything they want to go over while I look?
I'm just excited about how you can structure your business to where you can get maximum grants, as far as if you're Christian based, nonprofit, or for profit, but even to set it up in a way to where whatever the situation is, if you have things set up, you can kind of do it all. So
Yeah.
I like it.
And you can protect yourself after that,
Right.
because that's really what it comes down to is once you got something going, how do you protect that? What are you doing for it? And how do you make sure that it's going to live past your how do you make sure it's going to live past yourself, and to continue on? Because I mean, I for all my organizations, I only put myself as like on at my head of my board for a year so that I can get it started and get the board in place and then let the board take over. And then I'm just sit back as executive director or whatever part I want to play in the nonprofit, because it's like that gives you the freedom to let it grow and actually be a legacy that you leave, and let it be something that actually has a life of its own other than with just somebody, strong holding it. So I mean, I know a lot of people are scared of that. Like they don't even vote it out of their own organization, but it's not your organization at that point. It is the communities, and so that's where it really does um actually matter, so
Do you still keep like what, 51% of the company, or how do you,
if it
or
for
how
the
do you?
for profit, yes. For the for profit, that's there's nothing they can do about that. That's part of the way you set things up, so keep that in mind as setting things up. But no, for the nonprofit, no, I just want to be executive director and be able to run my programs, but then even then I don't want to do that forever. I want it to grow on
Right.
its own. People to come in, breathe like fresh life into it, and watch it grow. That's what legacy is about, and like bringing things to people that they normally wouldn't have. And if I can only do so much, my programs are going to run to the point where like I can only do my own ideas, and that I'm limited in my own brain. People come in with like better ideas, more energy, especially people who've been doing it for too long and they need to move. People just don't move when they should. I didn't want that to happen to me, so I was like, I'm just going to set this up, and it's in my bylaws, so I have to live by it
Nice.
regardless of how I feel about it. So okay, why is this working? Grant professionals, right?
And
Okay,
you keep
I
the
know.
odd number of the board. That's what I learned. So just in case, it's never even. There's always an odd amount of
Yes.
board. So to make sure that anything ever happens, it's still going to be a vote to where the majority wins.
Yeah. What the hell is this? Oh, okay. Open. All right. So this is a format of a prospectus that I like to go by. This actually is not something I made. This is something my friend Holly made. She was also a birth mom, so she was part of my birth mom buddies thing.
Nice.
Anyway, she's a grant writer as well. So she has this cool little thing here. Let me share my screen. My video. Screen two. Okay. All right. So oh, that's obnoxious. Get down here. Meow. Meow. Sorry, these are sound effects that we live by over here. I don't know what my deal is with sound effects. Okay. All right. So this is what we go through when we're doing like REAP grants. We have a program that we do for rural organizations, or like the grocery store that's here in town. We want to offer this program to them. But okay, hold on. No. Yeah. Come here, baby girl. Sorry, guys. It's
That's okay. We understand.
Right? I've got children. They're running amok, I guess. My goodness. Okay, you're okay, baby girl. Shh, you're okay. Okay. It's okay, Ginge. You're okay. Oh, Jack is mean. Jack's such a bully, but he's my child, and I don't know what to do with him. Anyways, that's a whole other story. Jack's back. He's fine now. If anyone was wondering, that cat's fine now. But okay, so these are the questions that we want to ask on every grant. So I have a prospectus, like a form that I fill out for myself every single time. And I keep it very simple, under 500 characters for each answer, because I don't, most of the time, that's what our limit is. You good? You want to go? Covered me in cat hair, so you're good? Cool. Good job. Okay. So, but this is how I go about every grant application. So I have this actually in format, but this is just easier to find. So I went with this. Who we are, who we serve, who we collaborate with, and this is very important because these are your partners. These are who you see yourself partnering with, and your prospective partners and your actual partners. And so this is also going by the 135 format of 1 cause, 3 programs, 5 partnerships or more. So, and you'll see how that all pans out. Like, this is a perfect example of this. How we measure our success, what our metrics are, how our community is involved, what makes our organization unique, why it matters, what needs funding exactly. And this is kind of this is where we kind of shine, because a lot of these grants, the REAP grants are, they are match grants. Some are 25%, some are 75%. 75% ones suck, and most business owners can't afford to do that, because you have to come out of pocket first before you get the improvements. And so people are like, we're good on all that, and so they don't get they don't get the actual help that they need. And so, like with the grocery store, I've worked it so that we have a financial organization that's going to reach out to the grocery store and do that bridge, that loan, so that they're going to give them a loan that covers the first part of the grant that they have to match. They'll cover that match amount, so that at the end of the grant, that would be what pays them the loan back from the funding organization. So it's a little bit confusing, but it works because it gets the stuff off the ground. So it's a cool
So
thing.
there's grants to where you have to show a certain part of it, even though it's a grant, you have to pay it back, and then you got to pay back that 25% or the whole thing.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go to the website, because that explains so much better. It's the USDA.
I appreciate you.
No, because like it's important, because so like USDA, this is another thing. USDA has stopped funding all REAP grants. Now they're only funding the REAP grants that are under rural development or agricultural. So those are the only REAP grants that are being funded now. So you have, and REAP stands for rural energy. I don't know. Let me just look it up. I'm not lying to you guys tonight. Okay, yeah. See, REAP grant freeze. I just want to see that. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Very pause. Yeah, but now they are still funding. If you won that grant prior to the 31st of last year, you will be getting funded. If you put in an application before the 1st of February, also getting funded. The stuff that's not getting funded is from anything from February 1st all the way to current that is not under agricultural or rural development. So it's been a pain in the community. Let me see. What does it stand for, though? There you go. Okay. Yes, Rural Energy for America program. And yet, something simple. I don't know why I couldn't remember that, but yeah. Let me show you the guidelines for it. Let me move all this crap over to this screen. Come over, please. Why won't you come over here? I want you to come over here, little tab. There we go. Wow, that was rough. All right, can you guys see this now?
I can see it.
Okay, cool. All right. So this is, if you go through California, it was like close. These are, okay, so let me show you the guidelines to apply the requirements. Assessing forms, how to apply. Where is it? Assurances construction program, yeah. Renewable energy systems. And now this is a federal grant, so it's also a pain in the community in general. But Energy coordinates. Okay, why isn't it showing the thing we're checking? All right, programs. Oh, that's back. That's cool. I don't know when that came back, but yay. I don't want an energy program, I want a business program. Vision. Okay. Nope, it's gonna be into energy. That sucks. Okay, sorry, I got sidetracked a little bit. I'm looking for new things. I saw 2 new programs in here in like 5 seconds. I got a little excited. Okay, so we have this rural energy pilot program. Then you have the rural energy for America. So this is the one where it says it's under the small business and agricultural producers. This is the one that they're still funding. This is where they're doing like this technical assistance. There's not funding, I don't think anymore, but this is amazing because they're sending this stuff out ahead of you getting like the big grant. They would send you a little bit of funding just to see where you're at, and then they send people that actually help you put your program in place and then start it. And that was, they would fund all that because they want to see if it would work, which was freaking awesome. But now it's not, I don't think they're doing it anymore, but it will unfreeze eventually. So like you could get all this stuff paid for. But okay, so anyways, the part where you have to, the funds that you can't reuse, what is funding available? So like 2024, there was 16 million available. You can get less than $100,000. You can get more than 500. Where's the thing, Richie, that says you have to do the 25%? Sorry, just bear with me. I find a lot of things just because I sit here and scroll through. I get lost. And then all of a sudden,
That's great.
I have a whole new, and it's really not because I don't keep track of things. I wish I had my computer like rolling all the time on like record, so I would actually be able to find things again. That'd be awesome. If there is such a program, I want it. Energy audit one. Coordinator. These guys are so crazy because they're really, 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 really cool people to talk to about all grants, USDA and rural development. They're very odd people. I like them. They will do a lot of different programs with you, and they're, just because it says they're only do certain things, they're able to do a lot more. So if you make friends with these people, that is your key. And I made friends with pretty much 17 of these states now.
Nice.
And it's because you want to make sure that their field accountants are on your team. So if they come out and they see that you're not using QuickBooks and you're actually writing books still for your for your books, like your Quicken, instead of using Quicken or something, you're actually using a ledger. If you're friendly with them, they'll actually come out and still help you. A lot of times they will come out and see that and be like, yeah, we're good. We're not giving you the grant for that. But if you, because like there's a lot of places in rural towns that still aren't using, they're not up to date. They're not even using computers. They're using a safe and some ledgers. God bless them. Okay, back to the question at hand.
Does it make a difference if you want to use freelancers 1099 than if you want salary people, even though you could still use QuickBooks? And I was thinking about paychecks as well, but that way the workers are local. It keeps it in community, and also I wanted to add farms just as much as local community to the area, zip code as possible. So it'll show that we're building up the actual community,
Yeah.
trying to utilize the people that's there compared to the outsourcing a lot of things. And a lot of times 1099 is a little bit better for them, but the paychecks and ADP and Intuit, they have it to where they work with them. So but then that's less taxes and stuff on you because they got to pay all that extra back end stuff. But you're setting it up with the organization or the company that you either Intuit, Paychecks, or ADP, so everything's hands off. Is a little better for you. So I wanted to go that route. So it keeps everything compliance and audit. I could just go ahead, send it to ADP or Intuit, and here you go. Look, everything's fine. They made more than $600 and they have everything now. It's up to them to do what they have to do.
Did you guys just see what happened right now? I don't know how I got here, but
Well, hey man, you got there.
I don't know how I got here, but it's recorded, thank goodness. But check this out. This is all the funding that, I don't know, they're federal funding partners. I've not been on here before. odd. I mean, yeah, I have it on this page now, but okay, that's okay. So but that had like a GoFundMe on there. So you go to federal,
Awesome.
look it has all the funding. Like that's weird. How is it? I've never been on here before. That's weird. Okay,
Can
so
you put
then
that in the chat, that link somehow,
nope,
so we can
nope,
get
it's all
that?
mine. Nope, mine.
Okay, it's online. Okay, okay.
Making
He doesn't
magic.
have to.
It's called the Making Magic.
I guess I don't know. I found some. I don't know. I don't really know. Is I want some damn. Let's see who's got. What is this? Roll it down the great way. Yes, please. The flip is this? Sorry, now we're just on a finding mission. Sorry about your question. It got lost in the shuffle, but we'll get back to it. But give me a second.
Don't even worry about it. It's all recorded,
No,
so we can
most
go
of my
back
days.
to the.
Oh shit. Cool, cool. No, oh yes, please. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Mm. Mhm. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing stuff now. It seems like a good idea to go this way. You have a sitemap somewhere. Why don't you click down? I did click on a state, ma'am. I just want to search the state. Shut the front door. That's just bullshit. Okay. All right. Let's. I guess we should take a tutorial and actually figure out how to actually use this because it seems very useful. But whatever. Size point, we can do that another day. Again, still fun. Why isn't this working? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh. So single family. What does these do? What? Is that real? Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? $1,300 taxes. It's pretty fucked up. I mean, sorry, it's pretty messed up.
You're killing me, Megan.
What's happening?
Bad language.
What happened?
It's real.
Okay, I don't like that. I like it. I mean, I like that, but it's, I don't like that. Hey, don't eat the cord. You guys, no. Never die if you need to. Just that's pretty nifty. That one I wouldn't pay that, but I would just bulldoze that. But this is like something. Why am I killing? Who am I killing? Why? Look at how cool.
That language is rough. I got little ones.
I'm sorry.
You cool?
Yeah. I'm like my mouth is horrible, so I apologize.
Sorry.
One carport, forced air. You see that air conditioning. That's crazy. I didn't even know this little area existed. Just FYI. How to buy? Okay. What about farms and ranches? Just curious at this point.
They got
Oh,
the
no,
verbiage between the difference between the 508 and the 50.
no, we never got
C3.
there, but I can get there for you. I actually can get there now. Give me a second. We go to. I'll show you my resources. Hold on. What is it called? It is called. That was too many. Okay, give me 1 second because I have to find it using the way I found it the first time.
Mm-hmm.
This. Nope. Nope. Yeah. Good community. Yeah. Okay. So this is a really, I don't know who made this website, but it's really crappy. However, such good information and a ton of it. Here, I'll put it in the chat for you guys because actually I never can re-find it again. I have to go through the whole process every single time. So let me just put it for you guys so you don't have to watch me do that all the time.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Go away. Okay. So they have every type of organization in here. So community organizations, community improvement projects, housing issues, community verification. And they have churches eventually where community improvement projects. Okay. So if you're wondering what your program stems under, like this is how I found my stuff. Okay, so this was the religious one. Oh my God. There's so much stuff in here. It's not even funny.
I got that website, so it's on there. Is there anything for like homeschooling that you know about offhand, possibly?
No, but Miss Sarah does.
Sarah, thank you.
Sarah is she well, she doesn't really work with us, but she works with us. So we have a small church. Yeah, and then as soon as Sabrina gets my that funding your faith stuff together, it's all in there. I just don't know how to organize it in my brain to actually say it out loud, I guess. Silly is stupid, but it's what it is. Yeah, there is, okay, so homeschooling, there is a yes. What state? Because there's a homeschooling like oh, what is it called? What state are you in?
Michigan.
Okay. Actually, I'm in education. Are you accredited?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you have accredited curriculum, you can do stuff like these. They like organizations like this that are private. They will have
Mhm.
they will help you get your stuff accredited, and then they will also give you grants to do to put stuff together. Like here. And there's a lot of good resources in here. You want this?
I see it. Thank you. Thank you very much. I got
Okay.
that.
And
All right,
then,
I gotta go to sleep. I love you guys. Thank you for everything, and I will be looking for the updates and everything else. You guys are so great. I love the team, and I just won that laptop, so I'm waiting for that to come in the mail.
that's
So
right. Good
yeah,
job. Good job.
thank you, thank you. I only got 3 more to win. All right, you guys have a great night.
Right. Like I'm not even teaching what I plan to teach tonight. I'm just lost in the shuffle, guys. Sorry. Does anybody want to see anything specific? Wait, I'm gonna get back to my prospectus because that's what I really came here to do, and I need to do mine. So let me do that. Where did it go? I don't even know where it went. That's how bad this is. Okay. All right. All right. So this is kind of where we. Oh, that's what that question was. Reprint. Match funds. My chat. Okay. All right. Yeah. So the REAP grants, the USDA requires applicant. That was probably for him too. Applicant requires to provide a matching contribution. If the applicant is applying for a grant only, they need to match up to 75% of the total eligible project cost. If the applicant is applying for the loan and the grant, they need to match up to 25% of the project cost. So. That's where that whole bridge loan comes in. So, and it can cover, so combined grant and loan guarantees can cover up to 75% of the total eligible project costs, allowing for flexibility in funding your project. And it has different allowable expenses. Anyways, so that is, oh, shut the front door, what? So this is how it's scored. Let me put this on there. So they have a selection process and scoring process of each portion of the grant application. In each, it's very, so like, oddly enough, boron is not in a disadvantaged or distressed community, which I just think is freaking blows my mind. I don't understand how that happened. People don't know how to fill out their census, I guess. But that is why census are so important, because they will bring your, if you do have an actual need in your community, it will actually get the stuff that you need to you. It is not helpful to not answer the door and ignore those census takers or whatever they're called. So, but this is how things are scored. So you have do's and don'ts, and so I'm going to take my prospectus, go through this, and I take the prospectus that we write for my organization and how I want to do things with a disaster zone, with a disaster staging area for FEMA as well. So I'm applying for the REAP and FEMA grants for my community building. I am going to put this right here where it says the selection process and the things that it needs. I'm going to take the winning grant from last year and put that into ChatGPT, and I put this into ChatGPT, and then all of the criteria that we found on the USDA website, and then my prospectus, right? And that is how I train, not train, but that's how I create. And then I ask it, hey, fill out this grant narrative for me, starting with your outcomes. And it writes the grant backwards for me, so I can then work from there, and it just does all that for me. It's very nice. But that's kind of how I get started, and then I take that and then I take it to the federal level and I start writing it. But that is kind of the process I go through. But prospectus is where it all begins. I want to see. So this. I want this one next after this other one.
Wait, it sounded like you just dropped a super gem. You said you take the winning grant from last time and then put in ChatGPT and work backwards through the grant.
Yeah. You start with your outcomes, because your outcomes will lead you to a better version of your statement of need, because you're specifically going to speak to the actual outcomes that you're getting. And so if you tell it to work backwards, it will. It makes more sense.
No, you just a genius.
You know,
Better outcome in my life. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. Wait, this is one. Okay, so you take all this information here. So you take the comprehensive stuff, you take the stakeholder announcement, you take this here, frequently asked questions, so it answers its own questions for you. You're going to check your, make sure you do this first, please, for love of all things holy. I've definitely written an entire federal grant for people who weren't even eligible for it. And that sucks, let me tell you. It was good practice. So yeah. Okay, so just, and then you're going to take anything that's blue, you're going to take all that information, download it, and then upload that first into ChatGPT, and do not do anything until I tell you I'm ready, you know. And this is how I start my whole process. You take all of everything. You take everything you can find here. You need to have as much information as possible. And you can create your own chatbot for like in like the custom ChatGPTs, or you could just do it in your regular chat. I do mine in my regular chat because I want to remember and be able to reference back to it. I was for a while having a ChatGPT for each organization I had that I was writing grants for. That was way too expensive and it wasn't cohesive, and I was getting confused of which one I was using. It was just not so much. So I don't worry about the custom stuff. I just do my regular chat, right? I pay for the $20 one, but I take all of this information, upload it to that, and then I say, okay, now this is my prospectus, and I have that other form filled out, and I say, put these things in, put this to work. And then I always ask for outcomes first. It gives me the outcomes, and I'll do it step by step. So I'll take it step by step the way I want it to write it, and then I will start working on the actual federal application process. So, but that's why prospectus and having it all laid out like that is kind of important, because you have it, a visual of it, one, two, you have all the pertinent information for it, right, ready to go. So that you can upload to anybody. So you also, it's like an elevator pitch as well. So if you have investors who wanted just a real quick overview, you can give them a real quick overview. Or you just give them the document, depending on how the situation is. So, yeah. Any questions about that? And what a prospectus is and why it's important. And it gets everything laid out. That's why I like it so much. Like, because this is good information to have no matter what, if somebody asks you a question. Yeah. Oh, Benny. Yeah, I have. I get impatient with them and start cussing at them. And that's where we all fail. So yeah. No. I don't have, I have my custom bots, but I also have like my budget. So I have one budgeting tool that I use for all my grants, and I will just say, here, this is my prospectus again. These are the things that we're doing, and then I will ask it to create a budget for that, and that's where I start my budget process. And I upload my template for my budget. So, which is this. I'll show it to you. Oh, that's my stakeholder mapping. Okay. Hold on. Let me go back. Back 5 more times. Okay. Boom, boom. All right, let me show you the budget. So your budget should look like this, and you can upload this to ChatGPT too and tell it to do that as well. So let me pull it over. This is the budget I did for Black Wall Street, the Grind Fest in Asheville, North Carolina. Well, not I did, but we did, or we used. So this, it adds itself. So you don't have to, you can do like 12. 12, and then it will come up with your amount. Well, it used to. I don't know where it went, but oh, it puts it on over here. Okay, cool. I was like, where did it just go? So our in kind is our volunteer hours. See how it comes over here, and it adds your it adds the amounts. So but yeah, if you just make a copy of this, you are good to go. Oh, there we go. I was like, what the hell happened? You guys, so I take this, I put this empty, I empty it out, I clear the boxes, and then I give it an example. So I show ChatGPT the actual written one, then I clear out the boxes and show it the empty one and say, create a budget using this format, use that as an example, and act as a fiscal agent and create a budget for this program. If that makes sense. Yeah, we had a lot of money in that one. This year it's doubled in size. So, yeah, that's about it. Questions?
How can we work on becoming more of a genius like you?
It's not fun. It's not fun being like, it says, because my brain's every which way. It's not very fun. I gotta tell you, there's got to be a easier way to be able to do all the things I'm doing without having to be so scattered. I feel like I have so many things every which way that I never get anything really actually done because it's all half done. So I'm not sure that's genius, but it's crazy. But things are moving slowly. They are kind of. So
like a Da Vinci genius in the ground.
No way. You know what? I remember a lot of things I hear. That's all it is. I can repeat pretty much everything I hear, from songs to whatever. I can repeat it, and then I remember it, and then I start using it, and then I tweak it a little bit to make it personalized, and then that's that. So it's all something I just learned or heard over like, a 5-second conversation with people. I do that a lot, actually.
Do you have a grant song?
What's up?
I said, do you have a grant song that you sing to yourself?
Nope, I hum so I can't, I tune out everything else out, so I stay in my own brain. but yeah, that's, I have to, I hum so much often that, like, my friend knows my humming songs more than I do, because I just hum in general, just because it makes everything else quiet for me. So to be able to concentrate, I have to hum. I know it's the stupidest thing I've ever said, but it's true. Thank you, friend. She's confirming. So yeah, but yeah, this is, I mean, that's my process for all grants, and it starts off like that, especially federal grants, because I do not know how to write a federal grant from like the way that normal grant writers write it, because I don't know what I'm doing. I just barely started doing federal grants last year, the year before last, and I didn't win any of the first two I wrote. So then we started working as a team, and we started doling out like portions of it after we came with a rough draft. So we'd all come up with our own rough draft for the same program, and then go through and say, okay, we're going to work better than this one. This one sounds better than that. And then we should start working together as a team. But like federal grants are nothing you want to take on alone. I'm just telling you guys, they're a pain in the caboodie. So if they actually didn't come back with federal grants, and that federal money could go somewhere else into like foundational grants, I much prefer that, but I'm not sure that's going to really happen. So I just know I don't like federal grants. They're not fun to write. So I have ChatGPT to do the most of the writing and the hard work, and like putting all the actual concepts together as much as possible. And you got to tweak it a little bit. You can't just go with what it says. But there's also, do you guys know that you can't copy and paste something from ChatGPT? Even if you highlight it, not do the copy button, but like actually highlight it and copy and paste and put it into ChatGPT and then put it into another document, you can still see that it's ChatGPT by looking at the code behind the actual like words.
What?
So you have to be able to clear that too. So if you're gonna do that, which you shouldn't do on any of the grant applications, but if you do that, make sure you're cleaning up your all the excess coding and stuff that's around it before you put it copy paste. If that makes sense, because the trackers follow you.
I mean, you literally giving us all the sauce. You said a good.
Listen, I got caught up like that. That's the only reason I know. I was like, damn. So they follow you, huh? You got cookies on that. I don't know if it's called cookies. I don't know. It's some type of tracking information that like, they're like, yeah, it shows that you put it into a document and then you copied it from the document to there. I'm like, I feel like because I went through a whole Google Doc that it should have cleared it out, but I guess it doesn't. There's actually a website you can go to that you put whatever you're copy pasting in, whatever it is, and it'll show you exactly what all the other extra stuff that comes with, and then it will tell you, do you want me to clear this? And you're like, yeah. Of course I do. And then you just copy paste from there, and then it has no tracking. And it's a free service too. I can't remember the website though. It's bookmarked on my other phone. I'll remember next time. I'll bring it with me. So that's also something you might be aware of before you start using ChatGPT all willy-nilly. So that's all.
Good memory. A way to concentrate, collaboration. Watch out for the cookies on ChatGPT.
Yeah. Also, well, because like a lot of people use it now, and like it's just don't be retarded with it.
Yeah.
Do you usually have a fact check ChatGPT results? I do not get my facts. Okay, so this is how I ask ChatGPT for facts. I don't do anything that has to do with the grant. I will go, hold on, I'm taking it over this screen because that is something I don't like. So I will ask it for my advanced reasoning, and I will say, what's the flip? No, I'm just kidding. I will say, let me go to my projects real fast. Oh my god, I didn't send my mom her freaking thing. Holy crap. Okay, I'll send it to her in a little bit. I did a whole workshop for my mom. Sorry. So when I'm asking it for stakeholder, where does it go? Actual factual like frameworks. Where does it go? No. See, you can see as I said, I use it for everything. Where did it go? Whatever. All right, so this one. If I say, I don't want to use that at all, I will just say, please give me I don't ever try and spell right either. I don't, it understands me. I don't know why, because I can't even understand me sometimes. I spell out everything of help. Yeah. About that, whatever grant this was. So this is for people partnership. It'll start coming up with this crap. And it's like, it is actually really good at that. So like if you do this and then you say, okay, are these all true, factual, and relevant? That's what I ask. But see, it'll give you data points. Your data points should build your statements of needs and give you reasons to Jesus. It's a really sad state. So you can also use like this extension I use, but it's not necessary. So then you have your sources, and then you can just say, is this all factual? Is this all factual, relevant, and current? That is not how you spell relevant at all. But watch, you'll still know. Is it bad that I expect my ChatGPT to pick up on my like not so smart levels? Okay. Would you like assistance in developing targeted interventions for grant proposals? Yes. So all those data points are for currently and for Alameda County and Oakland area. And health disparities are going to be your #1 data points that you want to go to, because the health disparities are what funds they tell other organizations and the government what to fund next. So if you're going off those statistics, you're pulling everything in and saying, hey, this is why we're doing our programming, because we're trying to solve these issues that are so relevant in today's age, and you start talking about that. That's how this works. That's how funding works in general for most organizations, especially state and federal. So that's why social determinants of health, knowing where to go to find that, knowing where to go to get those statistics, other than asking ChatGPT, is actually really beneficial. And just if you even list them out like this on your statement of need, just bullet point, boom, boom, boom. I always try and include 5 up front, 8 in the middle, and then on the outcomes. And I solve those ones that I put in the front of the grant. And so I have bullet points of each, and it's very well correlated. So we'll go through all that eventually over time. I would like to sit there and write a grant from front to back, like from the whole, like from start to finish, the whole process of finding the grant, getting the grant, working it out, making the programs correct for it, or like making sure that my programs align with it, and then like show you guys the whole entire process. But it's so, I've never just sat there and just done the whole thing all at once, so I have no clue how that would look. But if I'm trying to figure out a way to do that and actually be not scattered, so it looks right, you know. I'm not sure how I'm gonna get that done, but I think with Sabrina and Julia's help, it might be able to happen.
You could just
That's really valuable.
Stitch together different videos. You don't have to do it all in one sitting. You don't have to weed the garden all in one sitting. You could just do a few at a time.
No, because by the time you go back out, then the ones that you just took up, they're like halfway up the hills and shit. This is bad. It's all bad, is all I'm saying. No, it's just no, if I do that, then I won't ever come back and finish it. So I'll have a half done everything. So I'm gonna try and work on that, because I think that would be most useful for everybody, is to see the whole process. Is where did I go to find that grant? How do I know about that grant? A lot of them I just know off memory, but a lot of them I don't. I go looking for grants on a daily basis. So I think that's a better, you know.
How do you keep your energy and the hustle up? It's just from being in the streets. You just gotta like that.
No, I mean, no, it's because it's fun. This is fun for me. I enjoy this part. So late at night, this is all I do. I like it. It's fun. It's fun creating stuff that I know can actually. Okay, so tonight I went and I had drinks with the other some people that worked for the mine, and I did not say anything about my nonprofit or my organization or anything. I just kind of started asking questions, and they're sitting there. I found out the issue that they have with my organization is they're worried that I'm making too many changes too fast, and it's going to disrupt the town to the point where it can't recover from it. and it's just striking me that they don't understand that there's nothing to disrupt anymore. Like we're gonna die off because we have no water. We have no growth because we have no development. And it's like I'm just like, and instead of saying anything, I was listening, and it took me a second because now I have so much to put into the next grant proposal. It's like I don't even want to do anything else but write. So it's like either that or make a press release or send them another letter.
Oh, was that the response to the letter you had from what the
No,
other?
that wasn't the response from that, but that was a really bad letter. I should never send. But I mean, I should because it did get something done. But God, it just irks me so much. It's just I don't like any of it. Anyways, so yeah, but no, this was just somebody who worked at the mine, and we were talking, and I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna bring anything else up because I just want to see what are their thoughts. I'm like, so how you feel about guaranteed income? He's like, everybody already gets guaranteed income. Everybody's on welfare. I'm like, all right. What do you feel about ID accounts? It's hard to gauge because people don't understand what those type of programs can actually do for the entire community as a whole, and people who do understand that are intimidated by it because it's too much at once. And so I'm dealing with that kind of thing. I need to reorganize some things to make it so it's less intimidating, I guess, which is.
Do you have any like social output, even like a local one like next door that you can kind of like address those answers because people are nosy, they're kind of like they like to snoop but they don't want to tell you they snooping type of deal.
Listen, they've locked me out of every single Facebook group of Boron has. Like literally, I'm like I can't be on Boron Bulletin 2.0, can't be on Boron Pets. Mind you, the people on my team run the Boron Pets one. I'm still kicked off it. I don't know what happened. So I'm just like, so yeah, I have next door, but it's only a matter of time I get kicked off of that one. And I'm not saying anything wrong. I'm just saying what's like, I'm not even trying to sell services or anything like that. I'm trying to tell people, hey, listen, if you have a place for rent, please sign up here and let's do, I have an organization that will actually pay for people's deposits so they can do first month end deposit. You get your money and they can actually move in without having to put out so much money. And I'm trying to, do pairing these things together, and people just don't understand. They're like, why do you need to know our information? I don't. I'm just trying to help somebody, like I don't look at me like that. But it's like, just fill out the form, bro. It's helpful. And so I'm dealing with that kind of thing on a daily basis. It's very frustrating. It makes me crazy a little bit. So I have moments where I send really bad letters to the mine. I feel like it's their fault, all of it in general.
Well, the first reaction to genius is to like deny it. Then the second one is to like what they call it, to go against it. The third one is to accept
Like,
it if it was their idea. Then
I
like
feel like it's grieving. That's like grieving. Cool. So yeah. But yeah, so that's pretty much everything I have. Are we doing this? Oh no, we're not. Okay, cool. I was like, did I make that program? That doesn't sound right.
Mhm.
See, and then that's what happens too. So if you do too many things all at once, then you're like, wait, did I do that? Because if I said that and I said that, that's what we're running with. That sucks.
Did you ever look into that DART program?
The what?
That DART program is like a project management program that's free.
No, because I couldn't remember about it. I remember now. You could have
I
reminded me
email it. I
time
email.
ago.
I think I got your email now.
Okay, cool.
I email it.
I mean, it is what it is. It's in and out. But yeah, so that's pretty much all of my. Did I ever make the prospectus thing in here? No.
Well, it's definitely always a pleasure for you to grace us with your presence.
Thanks. You guys have a good night. Who else is on the call right now? I don't even know what's going on the call. I'm caught up on this thing. We have 5 people in here. Okay, cool. Hey. wait. Do you know about how I can get back on there, Benny? Since it says he says Facebook's algorithm is chaotic. Is that an algorithm issue or is it a Megan issue? That's what I like to know because I feel like it's definitely a Megan issue. No, stop it. Oh yeah. So, Ben, are you typing? Are you even here? Yeah, you are. But I like to know that part. It's just us kids. Okay, cool. Then I don't feel so weird. See, I made this for on rental guide, trying to get people help. And a form for them. Transcripts, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, what's my God? Okay, my cats are killing me. All right, so I'm gonna go because I have cat issues. You guys have a good night. Thanks for being with me on this. It's fun times, fun times.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
I think it's a Facebook issue. Oh, okay.
I
Well,
was-
that's good. A Facebook issue is better than a Megan issue, so I like that. All right, you guys have a good night.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Bye.